I arrived at a farm. A vicious dog suddenly lunged at me. I turned and ran, only to crash hard onto the ground. The chain stretched to its limit. It nearly bit me, but could only growl furiously. I stared at the ground and noticed no footprints. I got up and reached out to touch it, but my hand passed right through. The dog was just a hologram. I walked to the door and knocked. The person inside refused to see me. I flashed my badge. The next second, the owner, Jack, blasted me away with an air cannon. He stepped out, picked up my badge, and tossed it back at me. He told me to go home to my family. Because the end was near, I had to uncover the truth. I didn't leave. I saw the combine harvester in the yard. Suddenly, I had an idea. Inside, Jack watched through the monitor. As the combine caught fire, he immediately unlocked the gate and rushed out with a homemade fire extinguisher. White mist filled the air. The flames froze instantly. The harvester was sprayed into a giant ice block. When he turned around, he found I had already entered the house. He charged to the door, roaring, but I countered with my air cannon. Jack was utterly enraged. I broke into the surveillance room. The screen showed the entire world. He was monitoring everything. Then he sneaked down the stairs and froze upon seeing the data. Because of my appearance, Earth's destruction probability had begun dropping from 100%. The alarm sounded again. The mechanical black-clad men found this place. Jack lowered the defensive iron plate. One plate was held up by a robot. The female robot lifted the plate barehanded. Jack lunged forward, electrocuting her, kicking her flying through the air. The defense line was breached. Robots stormed into the room, but Jack had prepared. Another robot opened fire. We charged into the monitoring, sealing the iron door shut. Jack manipulated the system, sending them into a trap. Then engaged the enemy in the bedroom. I saw his gear could teleport objects. I clamped the device onto an enemy, but my left hand was seized. Jack countered instantly, severing the robot's arm. He dragged me away at full speed. Footsteps closed in behind us. Another robot breached the wall upstairs. Jack activated the magnetic mechanism, pinning it to the wall, but my arm was trapped too. The robot raised its laser cannon, lowly pulling the trigger. The beam veered off course. Jack dragged me into the bathroom. We squeezed into the bathtub. He pressed the remote. The protective shield snapped shut. The robot arrived and smashed it violently. Jack activated the launchers first. The entire apartment building self-destructed. The bathtub was catapulted into the distant lake. We crawled ashore from the lake. A truck was driving straight toward us.